Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Mostly Low Budget Movie Reviews. I am your host, Clarence. Thank you for tuning in. In today's episode, I have the #1 trending movie on Netflix called War Machine, listed in that sci-fi action category. Don't know anything about this one, but it is a Netflix original, so I'm expecting this to be solid, but nothing special. So what is this one about? In Afghanistan, a staff sergeant arrives to help his brother's convoy. His truck is broken down and he's there to fix it. His brother asks him to join him at the Army Ranger School, like, they talked about when they were kids. He reluctantly agrees. Shortly after that, they're attacked. Now, he's injured, but everyone else, including his brother, is killed. Now, we fast forward 2 years and he's attending Ranger School. Everyone is given a number and he is 81. 81 excels in the training, often finishing at or near the top with every exercise or every test, but he refuses any kind of leadership roles, and he's not bonding with his fellow soldiers. Clearly, he's still in his head and only there to finish in honor of his brother. His superiors are concerned. While physically he is one of the best they've ever seen, they question his motives in leadership. They allow him to get to the final round, but put him in a leadership role to kind of prove himself. Meanwhile, there is some sort of asteroid that has been circling the Earth. The last test is simulated mission in the woods to destroy this aircraft and rescue a pilot. Now, while on this training mission, the asteroid breaks apart and crashes to Earth. They're startled but think it's part of the exercise. And that's actually where I'm going to stop, because from there they continue the training exercise when a craft attacks them, and 81 needs to embrace that leadership role, figure out what's going on, and save his team. So what did the pros think? Well, they came in at a 69% on 45 reviews on the Rotten scale, with the audience at 73% on over 1,000 ratings on the Rotten scale. But what did I think? Well, let's get to these positives. And I'll start with, the main thing, which is the action. I saw this was rated R, and surprisingly, they really earned that rating with all the blood and gore during the attacks. It's almost two different stories colliding, which is cool. You have 81 still dealing with the loss of his brother, trying to complete that training in his honor. Then we get the alien invasion part, which started as something that was just in the background, and that comes front and center. Both parts of the story are filled with action and have a solid pacing to them. The story itself is pretty standard fare, with no real deviation from the formula. And you know what? That's kind of where my negatives are going to start. They didn't try to do anything different here. Very basic stuff. You've seen before a million times. I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. I think 81 honoring his brother and the training part was the better part of the story. If they would have focused on that, they could have just took out the alien stuff. But the alien stuff kind of felt tacked on, the alien invasion part. The final confrontation happens, which was actually, for me, pretty underwhelming considering all the havoc this machine caused. I wanted something more grand and epic. But then there's this other 10 minutes worth of movie that they tacked on after that really wasn't needed, because they didn't answer any of the lingering questions. I mean, they're pretty vague about what was going on, or we don't even really know how they survived the attacks, considering how fast and brutal this happened. I mean, they appeared to have no visible weakness. Now, they ask him how he was able to fight this machine off, and he gives them like a high-level explanation. And they're like, okay, cool, let's move out. And they all jump on helicopters. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm not understanding how they intend to even scale what he did up on a global level, since this was a global type attack. It was, unresolved, like they were setting up a sequel or something, but it's not really needed, because the real resolution was him dealing with the grief and loss of his brother and working through all of that with the training. And I'm not really that interested in the invasion part. I heard it's streaming very well, so I'm assuming they probably will get some sort of sequel to this, but I don't want to beat this one up too much. Let me bottom line this one for you. Did I enjoy it? And yeah, I'm going to say yes and put this right at a 63% to stay consistent with the Rotten scale. there isn't a whole lot here that you haven't seen before and better elsewhere, but it does check off enough of those boxes to be that popcorn action flick that's not going to linger with you once the credits roll. And as of this recording, I am hearing rumblings that they are working, thinking about doing a sequel, and there's nowhere really to go other than focus on the alien invasion portion of it. And maybe they'll answer all those questions I had in this movie. They'll answer it in the second movie, but we'll see. We'll see how that works out. This one just goes in that long list of just okay Netflix action originals. So yeah, I mean, check it out. Get around to it at some point. It's not really, that imperative that you watch it because, I mean, there's nothing to spoil. It's just, standard action movie. With that being said, I'll close it out right here. If this is your first time, don't make it your last. This has been a Podbean production, mostly low-budget movie reviews with Clarence. Thanks for support. I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. And I will definitely try to get another review up, but it's going to be on the YouTube channel of this horror movie that came out over the weekend. That was, well, I won't spoil that one for you, but if you want to know how I thought about that movie and what movie I'm even talking about, you're going to have to go over to the YouTube channel, Low Budget Movie Reviews with Clarence, and check out that review. Thank you guys once again. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Peace.